Oh, right. Ruby Amethyst. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That checks out. That's
Yeah.
possible.
If not, I've only really seen her played in Blurple so far.
Okay.
Whereas I prefer Samethyst.
Samethyst, yes. We are Samethyst believers here, guys. I need to do these real quick.
All right, we've got an Ink Tamatoa into a Popsicle, so we have Ruby Sapphire on the left. An Inked Library to a Diablo. Choosing to establish a TPO rather than a sale on turn 2. Valuing a 1/2 body over drawing a card. It is, in fact, Samethyst.
Samethyst.
As we know, Blurple is a registered trademark to the Labyrinth TCG.
What?
That's what they call it.
What do they call it?
Blurple.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And green is going to be the player to the right.
All right. I'm attempting to... Blue? I don't like blue. Not a fan. All right. I'm attempting to get all this stuff into the description for you guys that we keep showcasing. But it will require a refresh, though. So once I set forth, almost there.
So we freely gave up the Diablo. It does draw a card. I wonder how much he was, since it's game 1, testing his opponent's willingness to allow him. Because some players really will just let you get away with a Diablo sitting there all game. We're also playing a castle into a Maui turn. So we're gonna see if he has the Maui. He does have the TPO, so that he is the exact 7.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta offer a check. I mean, if we don't have Maui, then this castle's gonna, really do some awesome things for us.
Yeah, and we do not have the Maui.
Yeah.
We have 3 Popsicles, it looks like, or 2 Popsicles and an Ice Block. Where is this music coming from?
You hear music?
It's pink.
Oh. It's not my phone. I don't know. Do you guys hear music?
Can anyone else hear pink?
Castle does get established.
Also, TPO questing for 1, which means a shift Sisu plus TPO won't alone take out the castle.
Burns is lucid. Facts. He's crazy, guys. Pretty funny, though. Was it you?
No.
Okay.
The last night I was wondering who had YouTube on, and it was my pocket when we were in the Airbnb. I was a little delirious from an early flight. Whoa, we have a Mickey Mouse detective? Didn't they watch the video about Pleakley?
Where's Pleakley? That's pretty funny.
Yeah. By the way, after more testing, Pleakley is probably not going to make the cut in the future list.
Yeah. We tried, guys. Oh, and a snake.
But again, always try out the newest cards as soon as you can. And there's the shift Sisu, and we're not going to one-shot the castle this turn.
Sat.
Very interesting. It would lead me to believe they drew it for the turn as well,
True.
or that he was not anticipating us shifting it
Alright.
just yet.
Now it's all in the description. So anyone that wants to reload and they want to see stuff, it'll be there. Anyone new coming in, you'll now see all the stuff. I wish I could make those commands work in YouTube, but it does not work that way.
Got a lot going on.
Yeah, listen. Some days you
We're hard
gotta
at work back
Some
here.
days you gotta do it all. That's why I've been really quiet recently. I was trying to get all the links up and running. But hey, so
Oh, an illegal move, inking friends on the other side.
illegal in terms of Dick Burns play.
Yes,
All right, so there we go.
and playing a rabbit. So we have been recently debating on rabbit versus genie. I would say this deck is probably more of a rabbit deck.
This deck looks like a rabbit deck.
Although there are little catch-up mechanics in Sapphire, whereas at least there's Be Prepared in the Ruby decks when you're dirtling a lot with rabbits.
It's true. So Tipo able to finish off the castle there. Castle gained 0 cards, I believe,
Right.
but did gain 6 lore. That helps. Can you elaborate rabbit versus genie further?
Sure. So let's say you're playing against something like our deck, for instance. We're thrilled. We're thrilled if our opponent plays a rabbit, right? If they're going to be playing a rabbit, bouncing rabbits, stuff like that, while we're just putting 2 lore threats into play every turn, we're super happy for that.
Shout out to Joseph. Thank you for letting me know that. We fix it.
Genie is going to be threatening Diablos. Genie is going to be threatening the game. It's going to be questing for 2 each turn. It's evasive. So it's one of those things of tempo versus card advantage. This is clearly a deck that wants as much card advantage as possible. Whereas sometimes when you're Ruby Amethyst, you build your deck much more so where you want to have more tempo.
Oh, is this our own Sisu? We get another one.
He almost missed a ice block trigger.
Oh, okay. So that's for the Hades, right?
Yes.
Takes everything out.
Yes.
We do get to pick up a draw card here. What I thought was interesting earlier, I may have missed it. Did we play the Mickey the same turn that we inked the friends?
No, we inked friends and played rabbit.
Yeah, but so was Mickey.
Mickey was a turn before that.
Man,
I don't
so we
know
could
what
have
else
sung.
he used it
We could have sung friends. That would have been nice.
on. Rabbit is also a card that you would probably rather have against Ruby Sapphire when they're going to be banishing your characters as much as they possibly can.
Very true.
So yeah, it's a metagame call.
Yeah, it's really interesting here because this list we can see there's a Diablo in a hand here. There's a lot of respect on just getting cards in play that are going to gain me a lore when necessary, but also replace themselves later. It's a lot of what Ruby Amethyst has been doing for the last several sets with followers and brooms. And we've seen this before out of Amethyst lists in the past, where they were trying to do similar things, but the removal wasn't always there. So I guess I wonder what exactly happened in this particular set that this list may have gotten better.
So our opponent also chose to hardcast a friends on the other side, hardcast a Let It Go. When his opponent's only at 5 lore, you really, really need to be singing these cards. Because when you're exerting all of your ink and passing the turn with no board presence, you're just telling your opponent, do whatever you want with complete reckless abandonment. He actually had a rabbit in his hand, which he could have played last turn. He bled 1 ink of tempo. He could have played the rabbit last turn, then sang the friends this turn.
Facts. I mean, we knew that this was going to be a grindy game, without a doubt. I'm not certain. I think even now, even last matchup, we didn't see Lucky Dime come in and win any games. It was more just a, hey, I have inevitability. Both of these decks are representing inevitability. What? Oh, okay. Finders
Finders
keepers.
keepers,
Yeah.
yeah.
He drew a third card. And I was like, wait a minute, what? I was like, what was that?
Yeah, it's interesting. So I think the latest thing we posted was who's the quester.
Yeah.
And I think in this matchup, the Samethyst deck clearly is the quester.
Mhm.
And I feel like he's playing into the Ruby Sapphire game plan.
Yeah, it's very difficult in games to decide, like, hey, when do I need to be the aggressor? When do I need to be in control? And I mean, obviously, the way the cards play out help dictate these things. But in
Yes.
this particular game, establishing an early castle but never getting cards from the castle was probably the first turning point.
Oof.
But
That Maui.
yeah, and we've already played one Let It Go. We've already played one Hades. I wonder how many more answers remain for this giant half-head shark. 8-8.
And
Snowmen's.
and the Ruby Sapphire player correctly realizes he is taking over the game at this point. Just play T-pose out. Just
Yeah.
just end the game.
I do not know what that is.
That is a Rush 5 cost. I believe it's Jafar.
No.
I believe it's the Jafar from the new set. The Rush Challenger 5 cost 4/4.
Okay.
Is that what that is?
I am not certain. If anyone knows what that card is, let me know. I'm gonna quickly go to Dreamboard and see if I can figure it out. Because I am unfamiliar with that artwork.
Scar. Oh, sorry. I said Jafar.
So the 6 cost 4
So
for Rush
it's exactly what I
Okay.
said it was, except
Okay.
I said Jafar.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
My apologies.
Yeah, I was not familiar with that particular art. I was
Yeah.
like, what is that? I'm not sure.
Unlike Dan, I don't say the names wrong for clickbait, as our comments like to
Yeah.
tell us.
Okay. We haven't seen any Zimbas yet. One day.
Well, if Kylie's opponent round 1 was not too scared to play,
That's true.
we would have solved.
That's true. It's true. Spoilers.
Might have solved 12.
Maybe. There's a lot of them.
You got 2 green by trap.
Too much trap.
Okay, so it looks like
Pirate's Life.
player to the left is on Sailor's list.
Yeah, so we get the one on Pirate Life. Man, do we just get to challenge and get it back? That sounds so good.
Ice block plus Medusa on the Scar.
Yep, seems great.
So
We're going questing.
yeah, we're gonna
Sure.
just go ahead and banish that. And
Oh my god.
I mean,
There's lots of good
at
choices.
this point, we
But
just take Pirate's Life.
I like
back,
Pirate's
right?
Life for
Yeah.
sure.
Like he knows he is the beatdown now, as stated in our article. The role could change at any time, and you have to be cognizant of it.
Are we on one card left in hand?
I believe so, but with more ink than our opponent.
Yeah. Oh, no, we have lots of cards.
Okay.
We have lots of cards. We
They're
have some
stacked
options.
up. Oh wow.
Okay. So the question is, as Samethyst players, the issue really is that there is no Be Prepared. There is no Susu. There is no effective board wipe in the current metagame. So when you look at a board like this and you see this giant shark and even just Medusas and
Did we just quest?
T-Pose, I believe we just quested. Maybe there's an Elsa.
We're gonna Elsa.
So Elsa definitely helps.
Yeah.
The curiosity here is if this rabbit representing one quest was better than just rabbit taking away a Tipo as an example,
Right.
just to remove some lore from the table. I guess it just depends on what else we're doing this turn. Yeah, so even here we could have removed both Tipos from the table,
Right.
which is 2 lore, and then we stunned the other 2 characters for the next turn, which took away another 2 lore. Definitely would have been nice to kind of just swing the lore a little bit more as we're trying to climb back into this game. Elsa's a very good threat against Ruby Sapphire. There is an ice block in play, so there are outs to her, but there are less outs than normal.
Yeah, I mean, if he's gonna get this game back, this is how he does it.
Yeah, bouncing Elsa's to close out this game while gaining 3 lore for questing is definitely a step in the right direction.
Although with the Pirate's Life, he only needs 5 more actions to win the game.
Yeah, getting rid of this Maui is still going to be a priority. I'm not exactly sure what. It's a crab. Yeah. So Tamatoa picks up Popsicle. It just adds another, like, kind of I win the game next turn card almost.
Sounds like Kylie is in for a beating later as she's dropped around to Ryan censored Miles.
All right, so it looks like we don't have. We have a second Elsa, so that's nice. We can definitely delay another turn of gaining lore, taking away Tamatoa's, which is great. I do love the draw card here first. So,
Yes.
getting the information is wonderful. Also, maybe not something thought about too often. Now, granted, gaining the 3 lore here is wonderful. Also, I think that there's a world where this second Elsa now represents a game.
Right.
But if there is a snake in hand, there could have been a line of where we shifted Big Elsa onto herself, quested for 3, and then picked her up with Snake. Because if we lose both Elsas right now to a Be Prepared, that might be a very crucial moment in this game.
Yes.
But it all depends if we even had the Snake or not. Quest 1. Okay, so that's a brawl.
Yep. We're gaining 1.
Gain a lore. I like it.
Still needs to clear 1. Oh, no.
Pirate
Does
Slave?
not need to clear threats because he's reducing by 2.
All right. I mean, that was good enough. It keeps him in a goat range. So, because we can quest to 18. So goat bounce is a win.
What the heck is going on over here?
All right, how are we getting out of this? We have another rabbit.
Well, we didn't just slam a goat.
Yeah. Well, it had to be goat plus bounce still.
Okay.
I mean,
I don't think that's how you win the game. I think you quest with the broom.
Yeah, we should quest
rabbit,
broom.
Draw 2.
Yeah. Yeah, that the having the ability with the rabbit right now and broom to draw 2 more cards to see if you can win the game would have been nice. I also don't know if it's funny enough, like hating the Tamatoa is probably the correct answer, but the idea that all we have to do is play a vision, find another action, and just win the game that way is also very realistic. All right, so we go questing. 18. Do we have a way to finish? Can we close out the game?
Interestingly enough, if he would have taken out the Tipo earlier, his opponent would be at 16.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. That's a good helper. Gets rid of it completely. And there's only 1 lore in play now, so.
Looked like he also has a fox in his.
Okay. Yeah, the let it go is definitely great. That was a very good turn for sure.
Yeah. I mean, just his mannerisms
And that's it.
seemed as though he didn't have it.
Turn sideways, pick up a win.
All right.
Elsa tapping down the game. I like it. Very well played there. Who needs board wipes when you can just Elsa them to death?
Right. And then, someone took after Dave Solberg and just didn't draw any board.
Sometimes it be like that. Sometimes we just don't get there. Whew, that was a grind. There are players that are already standing around that have completed 2 or 3 games.
Yep.
in the time that it took for that one. So
This format is a lot faster than
I think
previous, it feels.
I think on average the format is definitely faster, but you're also still going to have games like this that are a bit more of a grind. I do love the addition of Maui Shark to the format though, because it does create inevitability, gaining additional lore for more decks, which is always nice. Clocks are important. So I don't know. I guess in this particular game, it's really clear that a board wipe on several of those turns leads to a way to close out the game.
Yes.
But even a high rim late in the game, you know, in one of those last 3 or 4 turns would have made a difference. A vision would have made a difference. I honestly, even on the turn before, one more action. It could have been any action in his deck to gain one more lore, and the Tipo would have then been good enough to where at least it forces a different play, but did not get there.
And when he returned the Pirate's Life, I would have returned it as well. To be fair, it seemed so far ahead. I mean, when you're losing to double Elsa, double Let It Go effect.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the last 3 turns were
That's just-
LCU, and then Hades, Let It Go.
Right. So
not on everyone's checklist.
right. Which is one of the fun parts of playing a deck that people are not used to.
It's exactly why we play games.
Uh, 140 viewers on Saturday on release weekend. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here.
Hope you guys are all having a good time and got the product in your hand. 49 players today at the Encounter Comics and Games in Allentown, PA. Shout out to them for letting us hang out tonight and stream for you guys.
I opened my first product yesterday. You could see it on the Forbidden Mountain Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, but you didn't treat the product very well, so
They'll have to determine that. I think it went where it deserved to go. And we're starting off with the best thing we can do, popsicle.
Are we matching popsicle? Oh, we have a
Yep,
Diablo.
with a Diablo. That's just a popsicle that's flying.
It's true. True. It's one that gains lore as well. The delayed popsicle that gains lore.
I really don't.
Yes, Melissa is here. She won round 1. Hopefully we can have her on stream at some point. The house is packed right now, so we're having a hard time not letting the natural table number be on screen.
Stefan is back.
What's up, y'all?
The homie in the house.
How's your round go?
I got crushed.
What are you playing?
Amber.
Like the speedway cool stuff? Or
No, I'm a fossil.
okay. Well, some of it's just aggro, right? Legendary. I think. So I don't like aggro, but I love some. I like Lion King, so I think I might end up playing aggro. One of those things.
So we hit an Ink Azurite Sea in order to play our high rim that turn.
Okay.
Sounds
that
great
deck
to me.
plays
Yeah,
all the
I love
aggro.
drawing
That was
2
true
cards
white
on
triangles, like red
on
rubies
the
up
turn.
purple.
Where do we think
Melissa,
the
someone
number of
just asked
Maui
about
Sharks needs to be for Ruby Sapphire at this point?
Haltrin? Is that how you say it? Pronounce it?
So
HOA? Huh? Okay.
So early on in formats, I definitely I'm an advocate for playing more of a card than you assume you'll need to play in eventually, because we need to get the card in our hand. We need to get reps on the game. We need to definitely understand, like, hey, how does this card actually function? So I'm definitely in favor of, like, hey, I'm just gonna jam 3 or 4 sharks in my deck early, see how it goes, see if we can get them into play.
Yeah, my initial instinct is to play 2.
I think there's a very good chance that you will end on 2. But right now, getting reps, I'm totally fine with just jamming more than in my deck. in the end, we've been playing Ruby Sapphire now for 3 sets. The deck has not changed that much over that time. How many board wipes were we playing and how many songs were we playing are like the key functions. So jamming a couple cards in is fine.
I know the new tweet is a bodyguard. Oh.
So yeah, we sang How Far I Go. Okay, he has second higher. I was wondering. I don't know a 4 or 5 cost card that matters that much in this matchup when your opponent only has T-Bone and a castle in play. Like, it might have been nice to go greedy and hard cast the How Far I'll Go to look for a popsicle, but he just had it all.
Hey, man.
So that was great.
Yeah, I mean, and we do have to, last game, this is very similar, where there was a castle in play early, it gained its lore, and it was never really relevant to the game.
Yeah, you're really looking for the Maui when, A, when you have nothing else to play that turn, or B, when there's a character actually in the library.
Yeah, and this is definitely one of those games where we want, we need to we need to get things off the board, but we're also very head on card advantage. For me, I would be looking to put Tipo into this castle and be like, all right, well, now you have to answer this card. If you don't, I get to draw additional cards. That's a lot. That's a lot of shark meat. Pick up a fox.
Interesting.
We're just running to Hiram. All right, so
And that's like me being uncomfortable getting in my head.
we're going to ink here. The question is, what are we going to reestablish? All right, we do get a fox there, which is nice. So now this is kind of forcing action and saying, hey, I'm going to draw some extra cards if you don't interact with castle and or fox. Well, we have not had any trouble finding popsicles and hybrids this game.
Yeah. I mean, I would be feeling great.
Yeah. Okay, it was an ice block?
Nope. Fishbone Quill.
Oh, Fishbone Quill, sorry.
Intriguing. He did not quest before playing the Fishbone Quill. Might have found something else he wanted to play or something that he wanted to Fishbone Quill away.
Well, he also has 2 Hirams, right? So, I mean, don't get me wrong, I think I like questing first and just establishing.
Especially because that Hiram and Tipo might want to be challenging this fox right now.
Yeah.
Which
it does look
looks like
is
that's
what
what's
happened.
happening. Yeah.
There
but
is
if he would have hit Maui, you just ignore the fox.
Yep, that's true. Castle ticks up again. Still no draw, but a very healthy hand, which is nice. It's quite funny how the the landscapes of both these decks are quite similar in concept of just draw cards, ramp, close out the game with big body spenders, and through inevitability and things like that. But for me, we know the explosion that's possible from Ruby Sapphire. You just don't get that with Sapphire Amethyst as much.
Yeah, Ruby Sapphire is telling you I'm going to control the game the entire time if you let me, and I can win out of nowhere. Whereas Samethyst is saying I'm going to decide that I'm going to win in the next couple turns and control it from there on.
Lots and lots of drawing. Question is, have we found an answer to this castle just yet?
My money's on you.
So Big Sisu comes in, removes the rabbit threat. Also now has a effective way to remove this castle. Interesting there. I guess we can just save Vital Spear for later. Leave it around for fruit.
Unless he inked it, he does have a Maui Shark in hand.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming he wants to set up something with that. However, Sisu banishing the rabbit also is not helping in that direction.
Right. I don't know that we even have an action yet in our discard pile for what it's worth. I believe that we inked to sea and we haven't played anything else of relevancy. So, I mean, obviously that's not leading in our direction. But, we did see this steady amount of lore gained last game through this castle, and we're seeing it again. If we just allow it to stay around the table and tick up and tick up and tick up, we're going to see these cards like this Elsa come into play and say, all right, I'm a 3 lore body, I'm a 3 lore threat.
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay.
That's one way to answer
Let it
Elsa. Which is nice now too, because now that we have visions, now that we have let it go in our discard pile, Maui the Shark at least has some nice pieces to pick back up when we decide to start challenging with him. There's also a world here like we're just gonna pop this Vital Spear. We're gonna draw 2 more cards. Although we're doing a very good job of fixing our hand.
Yeah, I don't think we need any more value out of Maui when we are drawing so many cards.
I think we even just quested Hiram there and didn't even draw more cards. Not a very common line.
Up to 11. So that's gained 10 more?
Yeah, there's 10 effective lore here. We get a rabbit. That looks like a library. I wouldn't even feel bad about establishing a library.
Absolutely. I mean, earlier when I played Nunez, I put a fairy ship in play against a Maui just so that he didn't banish my other location.
Yep, still represented lore.
Yeah, he could have just not inked this turn and played the sail to cycle it. And
Yeah.
then next turn sang the friends.
Or you can just sail instead, see what you're hard in, kind of keep going. Especially because we could have still inked and then moved rabbit to one of these locations if we wanted to. I mean, Sisu does represent a natural answer now to castle, which I think is what happens. And finally, gaining 10 lore out of our castle is probably as good as it gets. And then a Maui to follow. I guess this is just going to take out the library.
Yes.
Which is nice. That was a good turn.
So at what point are we conserving time? I know that sounds rude, but
no, I actually
we're
don't.
going to be on the play if we concede. We're not going to draw.
I know someone will know the answer to this. Melissa, what was the time of the end of the round this round? 2:20. So there's 18 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really difficult because although, you look at the play and you're like, okay, my opponent has a 4-turn clock. What can I do to establish the game to where I can actually Finders Keepers? I mean, drawing 3 cards, it's not really helping. But if we can find Runner Elsa, that represents a way to 2-turn clock the game. Picking up a piece there. Yeah, it does look like we're potentially running ourselves into not having enough time to win a game 3. But, if we can utilize the last 18 minutes of this game, close out this last 9 lore, and if, we look at our hand, we can feel that way. Hey, maybe. I think I see a couple Diablos here and a Broom. Honestly, if this turn is just Diablo, Broom, go.
It's your best shot.
You're just like, okay, I'll just gain 4 lore next turn. It's fine.
Well, we ink the Broom.
Just play Rabbit again.
Yep.
Yeah, we're falling
Spinning wheels.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those where you have to offer up things to your opponent. Like, what's the worst outcome here if it was, Diablo, Broom?
Sisu.
That's fine,
then
but
you
we
draw
we
2
just get to
cards.
draw 2 cards, and
Yep.
we just get to kind of move on. But if he doesn't have Sisu, he doesn't have Be Prepared, then all of a sudden you're like, all right, I'm just going to turn sideways, gain 4 lore, go to 15, find my way to close out this game.
This is why Diablo is so powerful. I'm shocked it's inkable.
Yeah.
I would
It's
never
pretty
ink it. It's like Friends on the other side. Never ink it, but I'm shocked it's inkable.
Illegal.
Yeah.
It's very interesting at the board, like where we are in board states, that we still have to dig, we still have to find these cards. Choosing.
We also didn't sing with Maui.
I was going to say we had a Maui there. That might have been an oversight. Thinking of, hey, my card costs 4 and I have to therefore play this card. I'm not aware of what that
That's
is.
a Sisu.
Okay. So yeah,
just trying to close the game, and he's also trying to get to a game 3 that he could potentially win.
Yeah. But we did give up a point of lore. Even if we aren't going to use Popsicle to draw more cards, giving up the point of lore is relevant in terms of ending the game, because I believe that would have put us to 7.
He also could have just played the Tipo that turn.
Yep.
So maybe he's setting up a lucky dime turn.
That's possible. We've yet to see a dime played by a Sapphire deck yet today.
I'm wondering how much they need him.
Yeah, I don't think it's as important anymore. I think Maui might be, in its very own weird little way, an inkable lore gain transition for the deck that helps it out. Much similar to Sail the Azurite Sea. I believe they got 2 inkables that really help kind of fine right that deck. Hades is nice. Big body. Picks up a removal on one of the Sisus. Do we also have a Let It Go? Or is this just a baby Elsa?
We inked a Diablo. It isn't baby Elsa.
Which is nice. So we get to put that one down and then finish off Hiram. We could have chosen to tap down the Sisu.
We also were supposed to exert something, and his opponent put his hand over his card to exert it.
Well, I think it's a matter of if we just decide to get rid of Hiram, which at this point, I don't even know that is important. I believe there's 7 or 8 cards in their hand already. I don't know if they're going to be looking for answers, whereas getting rid of the 3 lore threat that is Sisu could have been very relevant.
Gonna ice block so that the Maui only takes 2.
We have a dragon,
We
I
have
see.
a dragon. Here's to weigh the odds of shifting an Elsa versus just getting rid of the Hades that he can see.
Yeah.
He's electing for the shift Elsa
Very
to
interesting.
deal with.
This,
Because Elsa can be hard cast,
yeah, for sure.
but it prevents 3 lore instantly.
It does, which would have, potentially put him up to 17 more.
Oh, that's a Madame Medusa.
Yeah. Okay, it's not a Sisu then. I thought it was a Sisu hiding.
Yeah,
over there.
it took out something that was less than 2 power.
Yeah,
Or-
a rabbit. Yeah. So there's definitely some contemplate here. Gaining lore in the position we're in, I think is fine. We're still well ahead on the lore race. We have not seen a lucky dime in sight to change those lore races.
15 minutes.
15 minutes left in round. There's another Let It Go here. Not even sure if we need Let It Go in particular on this turn.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a couple options since he's up a game of, do I just not play slow, but do I make it so my opponent just can't win this game?
Yeah. 15 minutes left on the clock. It seems not the best time to try and get away with that. But what I don't like about this sequencing now here is if we're gonna ever in that turn play Finders Keepers, I think we should be trying to play it early, trying to get the best information on the turn. Waiting to play it last just kind of gives you less options throughout the rest of the turn now.
Yeah. I also don't know how many cards we need to draw.
Yeah, and there's like a here, like, we're inking 2 of our 1-drops,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna play the snake and pick up Hades, which is nice. But I really think putting those 1-drops in play to threaten a way to win the game is also a pretty nice turn. Slow, easy turn, draw a bunch of cards, put very low to the ground threats in play, and kind of force our opponent to like play a. I mean, if your opponent has to play a Be Prepared into 2 1-drops or something like that, like you're really happy with those lines. But now you're really not forcing any of those things.
Well, just checking the chat. I might have to go take a break for a little bit.
Double Maui Sharks. That's a lot.
I am quite excited though. Someone that I really idolize and look up to is here. So I appreciate him for coming through.
Yeah, it is really nice that the gamer did show out today. It's really cool. So we pick up a removal on a shark.
Yep, which he had bounced last turn.
And then we have a follow-up.
And we have another. Yep.
Well, it sure wasn't going to be Lorcana Villain, so, got to give our credit to Eric Schwitzer, one of our favorites.
Here's the thing. I've seen some stuff, Dan. I've been through some stuff. I've drank some stuff even. You might just need a new perspective. And
have we seen a Be Prepared yet?
We have not. So we do not, this is one of those things where I wish we could collect deck lists a day ahead of time.
I mean, that's a lot to ask.
Right? I know.
Very, very curious because it's been a long couple games and we have yet to see a single Be Prepared be played. That is nice. That's a good pickup.
Yep.
We get to finish it off. All right, so we pop our heel and then we finish off a snake. We quest for 1.
And there we go. Come on. That's what we need to ride to victory.
Yeah.
It can only be delayed. It can.
I mean, this was the position that we were in last game where we set up this crab and we said, okay, answer it. And there were several else's that did answer it.
I'm also assuming it can only be delayed. I don't know exactly how many Hades and
Let It Goes
he has. But just from seeing other lists floating around the internet, I would assume he doesn't have much of them left.
You would be
wrong. I have assumed wrong. We are playing 5 Hades and 6 Let It Goes.
Hades and rabbits.
We're racing to see who can deck themselves first.
Quest. Yeah, I think there was a missed quest on Medusa there, right? I believe that did happen.
Yeah.
It's hard because it was in the glare, and I was pretty sure it was still a Medusa.
We also don't know if he has Lucky Diamond in his deck, like we said.
Yeah.
Cheat with Maui. There was no cheat with Maui. He healed the Maui for 2.
He did. Yeah, he popsicled the Maui so it would survive. How did we pick our... Oh, snake. Okay. So we're deciding...
We're drawing more cards.
Right, and we're deciding if we're going to pop a broom. I would not. I think this broom in play right now is exactly where I want to be. So much so that I wish we had another 1-drop.
Hades is absolutely doing work. Nope, we're drawing more cards. So I wonder if Blurple could be the Oswald Friend Like Me deck. If you're going to be giving them a lot of ink anyway with Hades, that could be the perfect shell for that combo.
Mm-hmm.
Which may or may not be one of the rogue decks that we come up with in the near future.
Again, to cover, the Maui was popsicle healed, which went to 0. and then he took out the snake to go back up to 3.
Yes.
One more pickup that time. Pirate's Life. A little bit of drain here. A little bit of drain there.
Did we reduce?
We
from
did not.
15?
It didn't. I don't think we did. I think we should be going to 13. Just confirm, but I'm pretty sure we have to go back to 13. So I think we missed that on the lore tracker. There's our Elsa. That's how we closed out the game last time. There we are. Thank you. We did get it caught up. Oswald would trigger 3 times, and then you would do it 3 individual times.
Or Dean's one.
All right, they wrote it down.
Yeah.
It just wasn't on the large one.
Okay. So we did go up to 16. We played an Elsa. We were certainly in check again. Drawing 3 more cards.
It was tense out there. I'm gonna tell you.
Hard to
There's a lot of people watching.
get.
How does Oswald work with friend like me?
I covered it. Don't worry.
Okay.
I got you.
Awesome. Well, you are his biggest fan.
Yeah. And we just concede it. We
Yep.
just win. That's how. We just win. Couldn't get through.
And we did finally see a Lucky Dog.
Well, was it finally there?
Yeah.
Okay. Took a while. Whew. That one was a grind, Dick.
You can't use those 2 words together.
That might be true. So yeah. That was a lot.
Right.
Elsa Spirit of Winter. What year is it?
Isn't Spirit of Winter the
No.
newer one?
That's the 5th Spirit.
Oh, the 5th Spirit. I know they're all spirits.
I know my Elsas.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they may not be princesses, but they are ghosts as well. So,
They're queens.
yeah. So everything I said about who's the quester, just take it off Metafy. It's irrelevant.
I mean,
Who draws more cards? Guess what?
yeah,
The 10 commandments
Yeah.
of trading card games. Number 1, draw more cards, win more
it's
games.
true.
That's what Eric Coons taught me when I was 12.
Yeah.
It'll be on my tombstone.
I mean, while that's all true, I still think that very early on, if we just said, hey, I think it was like 4 or 5 turns before it even happened. If you were just like, Diablo, Turnabog, Broom, pass. I mean,
We could have just ended the game several
it
times.
was like, all right, like, I'm just going to put 4 lore in play, and if you're going to be prepared this turn.
Yeah, not only would they have probably just ended the game, if they didn't, they would have all replaced themselves by drawing cards.
Yeah. And it also put him in a position where he would have had to remove his own characters and his own stabilization from the play. And the honestly, the moment that you turn that play over and like, oh, you force them to be prepared at that board with the characters they had, now all of a sudden your locations that you relied on early can come in and just conquer the game as well. Because they were at the end of the game there were, a castle and I think a library in the hand that there was no way you could play it into that board. But if we force our opponent to be prepared themselves, all of a sudden our next turn can just be like location, rabbit, pass.
Also, no respect for those locations earlier in the game.
No,
Like game 1, he could have taken out the library a turn earlier.
yeah, very true, very true.
Or,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the castle.